Morning. Hello. Okay, let's do a couple of things first. I should have done this before I hopped on here. I do this every time. I was mailing out stuff this morning. So we are definitely still in the ice pack season. So I'm going to tag everybody. And I'm going to update YouTube today as well to make sure we're up to date on our Working Wednesday videos there. And, okay. Got a few more. Okay, so today, I'm back. We're going to talk about sharing the opportunity with Scentsy. There are a lot of videos on this page alone that talk about sharing the opportunity. So I try to kind of do like every month, I kind of try to do not a repeat video, but kind of like a video that picks up and keeps going. So like one video will be about PRV, and it'll be about how I'm working my PRV for the month. And then maybe a month or two down the road, it'll still talk about PRV, but we're maybe be talking about Scentsy Club and how I like get my PRV of Scentsy Club kind of thing. So that's kind of why sometimes you might feel like some Working Wednesday videos are repetitive. And sometimes I do it on purpose, because when teamies ask, how am I recruiting, or how am I working recruits, or how am I doing things, sometimes I will just tag them in a video, but that's not necessarily always efficient. If you guys have like questions in general, you're always welcome to ask. But also I do have, even though the videos don't always pop up consecutively on Wax Nerds, they are on YouTube. You can go find me on YouTube, and I've put my YouTube link in here several times. So on your training Tuesday, or whatever day of the week that you've allotted to use Scentsy and to train, you can watch while you're in the car. You can watch maybe while you're on your lunch break. These are things that I did when I had a full-time job. You can watch when you're like in the bathtub. Whatever it is that whatever time frame that you get to have yourself. A lot of Working Wednesdays range between a half hour and 45 minutes. They are a little longer. Our Zoom calls, 30 minutes or less, because I'm not paying extra for Zoom. And the initial join videos on YouTube and on here, they're all less than 4 or 5 minutes, because it's like showing you the ropes of how to get in and out of everything, how to close a party, how to create a link, how to do things. Create a link / party. I don't want to confuse anybody. So that's why sometimes this may seem repetitive. So we're going to talk about recruiting. We've talked about recruiting a lot on this page in general, but I am 100% like, I always mention like join specials or anything on Working Wednesdays, because we didn't used to have join specials. We used to have one join special maybe a season. When I first joined Scentsy, I joined on a special. I joined on the mini warmer wax bar, small bag of testers, 5 brochure. That's what I joined on. That is what I got in my kit. I never had Scentsy on hand. Never used Scentsy before joining. Was never asked. And that is why I get kind of, not aggressive, but sometimes I remind everybody, I never used Scentsy before I joined. Nobody ever asked me to do a party. Nobody ever asked me to join. Because I think that had somebody showed me what a party could bring in on a paycheck, if somebody had told me that my launch party paycheck would be almost $200, I'd have joined so fast. I'd have joined so fast, because I needed that money at the time. I still need that money. But extra $200, heck yeah. Okay, so maybe you don't, maybe it would have taken me a couple of months to be like, okay, this is really like where it's at. Okay, guess what? It still took me a couple of months to realize, oh snap, this is really where it's at. So you never know who's gonna join and who's gonna flourish. Some people that have joined that I just knew would be the bombdiggity.com don't even do Scentsy anymore. So, and that's okay. That's the thing about this business that I love. This is a choice that we get to make. This is a choice. And something that I will say that I have talked about constantly. Hey, Kim, I've talked about, I'm glad I can see comments. I'm glad last time I went live, I couldn't see comments. So I'm glad I can see comments. Consistency is key. Consistency is not what I'm talking about today, but consistency is key. What I will talk about though is how this is quick. I'm not going to squirrel. How I do my joint conversations are literally based differently on different people. How I do, Levi, she scared me, y'all. Sorry, she scared me. When was it last month and this month and August, I commented on Wax Nerds and I posted how consistency is key and how what I do to that weird face. What I do to book parties is I'll go back a year ago. If you've been with Scentsy for longer than a year, go back to your last year month and go re-ask those hosts. Hey lady, we had a party last. Hey friend, Aaron hates it whenever I say hey lady. Hey friend, we did a party, a Scentsy social. You got some free and half off Scentsy this month last year. Do you want to do it again? I thought I would just let you have the first choice of the month for the schedule, right? That makes them priority. That makes them go, oh, heck yeah. That's what I do first. And then I go back to the parties from 2 months ago and ask the people who purchased. We've talked about the system. I'm not going to go in the system today because I'll squirrel. Consistency is key because 4 of my hosts from July are part of our team now. 2 of my hosts from August from last year are part of our team now. So that's kind of why I wanted to talk about recruiting and sharing the opportunity. Yes, recruiting, but let's share the opportunity first. I can easily think of 3 people who have joined in the last 6 months who I've been talking with them joining for like 2 years or a year and a half. Let's say a year and a half. Like, just because they don't join right away doesn't mean that we don't need to come back to the conversation a few months down the road, especially when there's a join special. I have someone who has been buying Scentsy from me since like the first 2 or 3 months that I joined. She is one of my favorite people. We go and her son and HG are like a year and a half-ish apart, but that's just they are. I was going to say, I'm not going to give who their name is. And I started to, so that's why I was like, let's don't do that. Cause I don't want her to join later and her be like, gosh, she talks about me a lot. I come back to her every 5-ish months, 6 months, just depends on what's going on and how much I've talked to her and everything. I always just tell her, I just want you to know it's always an opportunity. It's always here. And I don't even say join the team now. I don't bug her. I literally just, when it was 50% off last month, I literally just sent her a flyer with, actually I didn't even send her a flyer. I did send her a flyer last month. There was another month that we had a special. It wasn't this month, but it was another warmer. I don't remember what it was, but you got a free warmer or something. Y'all don't laugh at me. I'm squirreling. So I'm like, oh no, stay on track. But I sent her a picture with me holding it. I'm like, the special this month is this plus that big old kit. So like this month. So, and I tell her all the time, like, tell me to stop. And she always tells me, she's like, no, she's like, I actually appreciate it. My husband's just not on board yet. That's okay. I just don't ever, I don't want her to ever think I don't care and that I'm not, because I talk to her other than Scentsy. But B, I don't want her joining under somebody else. I see that happen too. I see that happen. Well, why did somebody join under that person and not under me? Well, did you ask them? When was the last time you talked to them? Well, they ordered like 3 months ago. Okay, well, have you talked to them since? Well, I followed up a couple weeks later. Okay, but are you still consistently talking to them? That's where kind of creating that relationship comes into mind and comes into place. We love social media. We all love social media. We love to scroll and we love to look and we love to see what people are doing and we love to see people's reels and TikToks and all the things. If you like their stuff or comment on their stuff or acknowledge what's going on in their life, whether it's hardship or excitement, exciting news, whichever one it may be, the more you interact with them, or if they're not going through anything, sometimes it's nice to just have those mellow times of our lives, right? Just keep up with them, talk to them. If you have somebody moving into a new house, somebody who just bought a house, or somebody's moving in general, or that's a baby. I'm trying to think of other examples. Like, offer them a housewarming party. Like, get that Scentsy in their house. Get it in their house. Go to them. Put up a couple of pretty warmers on a table and let them smell on the testers, or let them smell on the wax bars you have on hand, or whatever. I'll use the testers. If my girl loves this one scent and I don't have it in a wax bar, I'll flip that tester over and stick that in a warmer easily, like 100%. Here we go. It's okay to use it for one party. Our little testers are like 90 cents or 99 cents or something like that. But I'm just saying, like, with that being said, keep up with your people. I'm scrolling. Keep up with your people. Talk to them. If I see one more person complain about gas prices, I get you. I'm there. I went to the grocery store the other day and spent $90 on half of what I would have bought. I was just like, oh my goodness. Wow. Like, I get it. We are in an interesting vibe right now of our economy and things going on. But what I want to remind y'all, I can say this on here to the team because it's true. It's just true. People are gonna go everywhere else and buy stuff for Christmas. People are still gonna swipe their credit cards. I'm not saying that they still aren't gonna be in the mindset of I still only have this much of a budget. People are still gonna use their credit cards. And don't get me wrong, I don't want people going into debt over Scentsy. I don't want people swiping their cards to spend money on Scentsy for that when they come to me and to go into debt. But that's not we don't dictate that. We don't get to. When I worked, I always talk about my full-time job. So y'all always are going to hear about the full-time job. I used to be a travel agent. Before I was a travel agent, I was part of the retail store where people would come book travel. So they would buy luggage and they would buy all kinds of travel stuff and all the gadgety things. And people would get so excited about their trips. They would blow hundreds of dollars in this store. I can't tell you how many people would buy new luggage every time they went on a trip. A Delsey suitcase was like $150. Plus all the little gadgets to put in it, all the little sleeves, all the packing cubes, the like protective cases for your credit cards and stuff so that nobody can scan your stuff at the airport, your chips and stuff. People would drop hundreds of dollars. They'd put their deposit on their trip, and then it was my turn to swoop in and ask them what they needed for their trip. Let's get you started on packing now so you're not worried about it. They could have gone to TJ Maxx and bought a new piece of luggage if they wanted to, but they bought it in the store because A, they were there, but B, because I can sell ice to an Eskimo, y'all. I don't know why. I don't know why. And I'm not bragging, it's just true. Everyone's always told me, like, God, you can sell stuff. You want to know what I can't sell? What I couldn't sell? I could not sell travel for the life of me. I could not do it. I was not a travel agent. I was a travel agent behind a desk, but I didn't sell travel because I just didn't, it wasn't passion for me. I wanted to go travel. I don't give two hoots about where people were going. I wanted to go myself. And I started to realize that. So that's why I got out of that. But I love Scentsy. So taking that a bit further, I don't like to say that we sell, we share. We love Scentsy, so we share Scentsy. I love what Scentsy has been able to give me. I don't have words sometimes for what Scentsy has done for my life. And I never would have thought that. I never would have thought that. A couple of years, not even a couple of years ago, I always talk about the rental house. You'll hear about the rental house because, God bless, that was the worst year of my marriage. That was one of the worst years of my marriage. The only thing about that time of my life that I was happy about, I was skinny. And it wasn't healthy. I just wasn't eating. I just didn't eat. I'd lie to everybody. I would say, oh, I ate at work. And then people at work would be like, well, I'd eat at home. And I didn't. I wasn't healthy. So that was like financially a horrible time of our marriage. We were so broke. I'm talking, we didn't even really have credit cards. We had like one and it was always maxed out. They actually ended up cutting it up. They actually ended up like virtually, like digitally cutting it up in the account. They just closed the account. So with that being said, there were times that a couple of $100 extra a month would have made a huge difference for our budget. And nobody ever offered that. Nobody ever shared that. Nobody ever said, you know how many Scentsy people are in my area? You know how many people in our area that do Scentsy that I never even knew did Scentsy because they don't share it and they don't talk about it? And I've asked one person before if she'd ever thought about it. She's like, I am a consultant. And I flat out called her out. I was like, okay, well, I've never seen you share it. Nothing on your social media shows that. You've never talked to me about it. And I flat out told her, I was like, I'd have loved to have done a party for you. I'd have even joined. And that's the reality. And you know, that's something else that Scentsy has given me. I am not confident with my body, but when it comes to like what I do as a mom, as a wife, what I do in my business, how I do things in my life in general, like Scentsy's given me that, like, I'm not doing that. I don't want to do that. Like and then other things that Scentsy has done, it's brought me out of my comfort zone. Like, well, I got to go do that because I need to go do that because that's going to help here. So I talk about Scentsy. I try not to talk about Scentsy to everybody, but when people ask, how's Scentsy going? That opens that door. You're going to hear about it. And I get it all the time. I pointed to my shirt that I don't wear in public all the time, but when I wear a Scentsy shirt in public, most of the time I get questioned about it, especially with this one because it catches people off guard because it's got the Disney castle on it and that turns into all the things. But like, share it. Share it. We got Paige yesterday. What did Scentsy do for you? What did it do for you? I asked on Wax Nerds on this page, what did Scentsy do for you? Did it pay a bill? Did it pay for you to get your nails done? Did it put gas in your car? Is it your Christmas money? We have teamies on here that save all their paychecks and just leave it on their Scentsy card, and at Christmas, they go buy their Christmas. That is huge. That is huge. Because we don't, orders are shipping, yay. We don't want to go into debt over Christmas. We don't. We want to help people. We want to show the way. We want to give them the opportunity. Do you want to start getting your Christmas shopping done? Yes? Great. How about not only do you get to do your Christmas shopping, but we can flip this link for you, get you this kit that you can keep, or you can give some things away in Christmas and pack it up. And you also get this paycheck that you can spend next month to finish out your Scentsy, or to finish out your shopping, and it not even necessarily be Scentsy. If somebody has a $500 minimum, it doesn't even have to be minimum, but I'm giving an example. If somebody has a $500 party and we flip it, that's $100 back in their pocket. They can go do whatever they need to go do with it. Say they get their 78 in free Scentsy, their 4 half off items, including their perpetual item, right? 4 or 5. I should know that. They get all their basics done with Scentsy, and then they get that paycheck on their card in a few weeks, or whenever they flip the party. In a few weeks, they get that $100 that they can go take care of the last little bit of things that they need to do. They need to go get a couple gift cards, or if they just need to go run to some of our favorite stores like TJ Maxx or Ross or Pop Shelf is my favorite. Y'all, if y'all have never been to Pop Shelf, you need to go. They can go run and do the last couple things they need to do for Christmas, and they may not have to stress too much about it. You know, you just don't know what someone might need. That year that we lived in that rental house for Christmas that year, first of all, I didn't see most of my family because I had stepped back. But we saw part of Aaron's family. I literally went to the Dollar Tree, bought 5 jars of bath salts, a pack of bath bombs that had 6 bath bombs in it, and I gave that to the ladies and put it in like a little bag, and I made the guys fudge. We were so broke. I had $30 max to spend on Christmas that year as a gift. Aaron and I didn't buy each other anything. We actually ended up going on a cruise. We had won a cruise. We ended up having to pay taxes on it. We didn't know that, but that's here and there. But we ended up going on a cruise a few weeks after Christmas anyway. But we were so broke, y'all. We were so broke. We were on this cruise ship. We had no money. That was one of the things. I was like, but the food's included and we don't have to buy anything. And yeah, anyway, so we had a really good time. But like, I remember being so broke and not having any money. And Aaron's still like, we ain't gonna spend a bunch of money on Christmas this year. I'm like, I don't expect us to spend a bunch of money on Christmas this year. Like, we still live, I'm gonna contradict that statement here in a few months, but we're not gonna talk about it. We still live like minimal. Like, we want to build future wealth for our future children and or grandchildren, and or because we may or may not have grandchildren, we don't know. But like, we want to build something that's not necessarily tangible. We just want to be able to have a security there. You know, I grew up with a family that we were broke growing up, but we didn't know it. Mom and Dad were just constantly in debt. Mom and Dad split up when I was 15 over the debt. So much debt that there was no getting out of it. It was just a filed bankruptcy. The 3rd time they filed bankruptcy in my childhood. So that was a mess. But like, I didn't grow up with a plethora of things in my life with the, we're going to take care of college, or we're going to help you with getting you what you need. Like, we had what we needed, don't get me wrong. But like, my first car, I loved my first car, so I'm not complaining about that. But the other 2 siblings' first cars were not wonderful. They were not wonderful. They did not run great. So like, just examples of like, I want to do my best as a parent, but I also just, Aaron and I want to, we have our dreams. We all have our dreams. So Scentsy can just be that vessel for that. And PRV is key. You're going to make your most commission off PRV. Absolutely. Did you know that if you sell $2K a month, you get an automatic $600 paycheck? What could $600 do for you monthly? Plus, if you start recruiting and you get people on your team, it builds. And it's not just the money. It's not just the money. But it's the money to teamies that I talk to. It's 9 out of 10 of the teamies that I talk to, it's about money. It's about creating a blanket or creating a savings account off to the side that's not coming out of your 9-to-5 job. It's about rainy day funds. It's about having extras to go do kind of what you want to go do. And I get that. I'm 100% behind that. That's what Scentsy was when I first joined. It was paying off debt. We paid off, let's see, I joined Cincy in a year. It'll be 3 years next month. In September, we paid off my car in February. So, which is a 6-month window, but still, like that, we paid off my car. And we paid off Aaron's Honda. I can't remember if we paid it off before or after that. I don't remember. We gave that Honda away. We didn't sell it. And that was a dream of ours. That was a goal of ours. We wanted to be able, back when we lived in the rental home, we did, actually no, it wasn't when we lived in the rental home. I think we lived with my in-laws at this time. We did the Dave Ramsey program. And one of the couples that was in that program had told us that years before that, they had given one of their vehicles away. Somebody in the family needed a vehicle, and well, we've got this, we can give it away. And I remember at that time, Aaron's watching now, Aaron and I were like, who the heck gives away a car? Like, you know how much money you can make off a car? We're in this program about paying off debt, and this couple's just giving away a car. And we're like, what is that? And so that was one of our, like, I was like, we made it whenever we get to do that one day. Like, we've made it in this world. We have not made it in this world. We are very much like just, we're not flighty, we're not random, but we are very like, anyway, I can't put a word to that because he's watching now. So he's going to be like, no, we're not. But so a couple of years after moving into, if he's watching and he can hear me, I can't remember when we gave the car away. I think it was May of 2020. I think it was May of 2020 that we gave the car away. And I was still working a full-time job, plus bringing in Cincy income. So we were able to do that. I don't think we could do that now, but we were able to do that. So within 6 months of that, I quit my full-time job. There was a lot of other things about that situation that made me leave, honestly. But Cincy was able to give me and Aaron and HG that opportunity for a shift. I work from home now. I'm not stay-at-home mom. I work from home because let me tell you, HG sometimes tells me, Mommy, you've done nothing today but work. And I'm like, sorry, baby. I just have stuff I've got to do. I get so distracted so easily that we know this. If I don't stay on tasks, it takes me a while to get my things that I'm like, I got to get this done. So, but still, with that being said, share the opportunity of what Cincy is doing for you. I think that sometimes we just feel like we just need to text 10 people and say, hey, have you thought about doing what I do? That's effective too. That's effective too. Because you'd be surprised how many people are like, I've thought about it and I like the idea of it, but I just don't know if I'm ready. Got it. That's great. That is not a no. That's not a no. That's actually a better response. I love hearing that somebody's thought about it. I get told a lot I make it look easy. I get told that a lot. Like, you look like you have so much fun and you just love on all your things. And I'm like, y'all, we know this is hard. We know this is hard. It is so easy for me to go sit downstairs with my tablet and my phone and my water bottle and be a couch potato. It's easy. I don't meet people anymore. I have to go out and meet people. I have to go and do, which is why I try to pick up events around the area now. I try to do a little bit more. A couple of us kind of swap off. So, and that gives the opportunity. And honestly, that's part of the team aspect of this too. Share that opportunity. Share the community that we have. There are several of us in the area that, like, if one of them's working full time or if one of them has to work that weekend, they'll send me or somebody else the flyer. Hey, they have a vendor event this weekend and I'm not going to be able to do it. Do you want the spot? That's teamwork. That's teamwork. We have an event at the end of this month, and then there's another one in the area October 1st. I'm out of town October 1st. Kim and I are going to the beach. I'm out of town. But somebody else, I'm sure one of the other girls has already grabbed it. I have to tell y'all about this because I caught myself doing it with stories the other day. This is squirrel, but I have to tell you anyway. So I had a Nana who passed away when I was 7 and have a granny. Not granny, granny. And my grandmother would correct me growing up. I'm not your granny, honey, I'm granny. So I'll say gruh. Sometimes I'll catch myself rolling it. So anyway, with that being said, there's a little humor for you today. She still does that too. I'll be talking and she'll be like, granny. I'm like, I know, granny. Like, sorry. Anyway, with that being said, I love my grandmother, by the way, too. That's also given me an opportunity. I get to go, I don't get to see her. She doesn't want hugs and she doesn't want anybody in her bubble because of COVID. But if HG and I like have a day where we're out floating around and doing deliveries and we're in that area, like sometimes we'll call her ahead of time, but you know, hey, Granny, I'm in the area. Do you want us to come by and say hey? And she's very particular. She doesn't want hugs or anything, but you know, it's still nice to be able to, like, I couldn't do that when I had a full-time job. I was so tired and so busy. And I had to go pick HG up back from daycare at a certain time, and dinner had to be ready by a certain time, and there was just a lot going on. So anyway, share it. Talk about what it does for you. If you're going and getting your nails done, even if you're not using your Scentsy card, it's still like a counteractive. If you're going shopping for Christmas this year and you're using Scentsy, or if you're doing anything that you feel Scentsy allows you to do, share it. We are about to get into the busy months of the year, and I've seen a couple of people put their kits down. They've not told me, but they've told their VIP pages, and I'm sad about that. But I'm also, I'm only one person. And if we're struggling or if we're having a hard time and we're not feeling, I felt this a couple of months ago. Not putting down my kit, but feeling like there wasn't an opportunity to share with Scentsy. I felt like there wasn't an opportunity, that I felt that Scentsy was really picking up like any financial aspect of things. And then even Aaron's like, you're still home. What do you mean? You're still doing what you've been doing for the last 2 years. What's changed? And I was like, I got kind of bummed. So this is that time of year where you're going to start seeing, oh snap, people want that. I'm going to tell you now, the ones that have put down their kit, you're going to start getting messages probably here in the next couple of weeks. Hey, I saw this is coming. Are you still doing Scentsy? I want to order it. I've had several people in the past, last year this happened. People were like, oh, people want to order. Yeah, people want to order. Yeah. People love Scentsy. People love Scentsy. So sharing the opportunity even further to show them you can even get discounts / paid back on your purchases. Paid back on your purchases is a better verbiage to use. Like, some people like that. Some people want that. So that's kind of today, like what I wanted to talk about. I know that we've been in a little funk, a little dip, a little roll. I know. But it's going to pick back up. This is part of retail. We're in retail. I know people don't want to view it that way, but we are. We're in retail. We offer a product that is pretty and eye-catching and ooh and ah, and it smells good and it's yummy and it's wonderful. This is that time of year that people want their house to smell like Christmas. They want their house to smell like fall. They want to love on all of it. I know I do. So this is that time of year where you're going to get a lot of people that are kind of coming out of the woodwork. So I hope this was helpful. I know it's just me sitting here chatting and talking, but I hope this was helpful. If y'all do have questions, if y'all are feeling a certain way about putting down kits or not feeling successful or don't know where to go or what to do, I don't know if you don't reach out to me. I don't know. There's one of me. There's over 50 of you guys. You got to tell me, hey, I'm not feeling successful here, or, you know, I need this amount to come in. Help me. Like, if you need help with verbiage of asking someone to party, I will help you. If you need help with asking someone how to join, sometimes it is just as simple as they ordered, You sent them a little packet. It doesn't have to be big, y'all. It doesn't have to be big. Go to the post office. I talk about samples all the time. I'm almost done, I promise. This goes into joining. Get you a thing of stamps. If you have, what is this, 20 stamps? Don't laugh at me. If this is 20 stamps and you have 20 orders in a month, this cost me like 11 bucks. Go to the Dollar Tree and get you, actually you might even be able to get them cheaper at Walmart now. Get you some white envelopes and then stick a felt sample of the scent of the month. If you don't purchase the scent of the month on the 15th, I'm going to post that to update y'all subscriptions because we got Frankenstein coming in a warmer. If you don't do that right now and you can't afford that, that's okay. At the beginning of the month, if you're closing out a party, grab a wax bar. Grab a scent of the month wax bar. Make some samples of it. And I do my newsletter. I was like, where did it go? This is my newsletter. You don't have to do a newsletter. This is just gives you information. I show y'all this all the time. I literally just stick this in here with a little, you can go to the Dollar Tree and buy thank you cards. You don't have to print a bunch of stuff out. You don't have to do a whole bunch of stuff. It can just be a thank you card. I actually have a big old tub of thank you cards I found the other day from the dollar store where they would like change patterns. I'm like, oh, that's pretty. I want that. I used to go to the dollar store and buy a pack of thank you cards and write a thank you on my thank you card, put a felt sample. We're getting in the cooler seasons here in the next couple of cooler season. It doesn't have to be a felt sample. It can be just cut up in a little piece eventually. And stick this in an envelope, fold this, stick it in an envelope, stick a stamp on it. Anyway, moving on. Text them. Give it a couple of days, let it arrive to them. Hey lady, I sent you some Happy Mail. Friend, hey friend, I sent you some Happy Mail. What do you think about it? Oh, I love that scent so much. And you can go from, oh, I'm so glad. Have we thought about doing a Scentsy social? We could get a couple bars of that for free. Maybe get you a warmer. Put the phone down. I actually put the phone down. Last night, our Zoom call, I shared it on here. Our Zoom call, Courtney Reyes talked about that. Just put the phone down. I actually do that. And I thought that was funny that she said that because sometimes I will. I'm like, just put the phone down and walk away from it and go back to doing something else. Don't get on Facebook. Don't get on Instagram. Don't scroll. Just put the phone down. Or if this is someone who's bought from you a couple of times and you sent them a sample, a smelly good, and you've sent them something, wait a couple of days. Hey, friend, I sent you a smelly good sample at the end of the month. What do you think of it? Oh my gosh, I love it so much. I've been meaning to ask. Have you ever thought about doing this with me? You love the products like I do. Have you ever thought about it? Put the phone down. It is that simple. It really is that simple. So you just don't know if you don't ask. And if we're not even sharing the opportunity anyway, we're doing ourselves a disservice. So that's what I have today. That's what I wanted to talk about. So y'all, let me know if this is helpful. Let me know. Also, let me know if there's things that I don't talk about enough and y'all want me to talk about it more. Because your girl can talk. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your Wednesday. I got to go do a couple more errands. Then I got to go get my baby. Y'all, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.